Hello again, thanks for joining. So this is another model railway news update, keeping you up to date on new stuff from some of the big model manufacturers. I'll be covering a range of manufacturers in this video, and there's models across a number of different scales as well. As always, this is a totally unbiased news update. I don't have any affiliated links, and I'm not sponsored by any manufacturer or supplier to do this video. And of course, remember to shop around for the best prices. Before we get stuck into the news, I'd just like to mention about a poll that I put out on my community tab on YouTube recently. I asked you guys if you prefer news reports like this one, which is a roundup of different manufacturers all in one video, or would you prefer more kind of newsflash style where it's just about one manufacturer? Thank you to the 60 people who voted. I really appreciate you taking the time to cast your vote, and it's looking like 2/3 of you guys like the format of this one, which is all in one, with a third of you saying that you prefer more frequent news flashes. So for now I'll continue on with videos like this one, but I'm sure at the end of the year when all the manufacturers announce their 2025 ranges, I'll have to do a few videos where it's just one manufacturer because I'm sure there'll be hundreds of models to get through. So thanks once again for voting. I really appreciate you doing that. And without further ado, let's get on with this news update because there's some great models coming to market. So we're going to start off with Roco. Now, I really like Roco stuff. It's always really good quality, and these ones are in HO scale as normal. The first one that's been announced is this BR218 from the DBAG, bang up to date from Epoch 6. Now, this particular locomotive has been modelled many times in the past, but Roco have really got a very refined model here now with some great detail. If we look at the close-up, you can see things like the door handles are perfect, it's got handrails there, and some really good graphics, and the painting is spot on as well. They've really done this locomotive proud, and this new version is coming out very soon, and it's going to be priced at around £200 for the analog DC version. It does come with a Plux 22 decoder if you want to make it DCC later, but you can opt for it with DCC with sound from the factory, and that's priced at around £320. As well as that red livery from the DB, we're also getting this new livery. It's still a version BR218, but this one is numbered 341-6 in the Intercity livery, which is white with a red stripe. Other than that, it's essentially the same model, but it does have a few differences there on the roof. In this announcement, they're only mentioning about a DCC sound version, which comes in again at £320, but this one is available in AC sound if you have an AC setup, and it's £320 as well. An interesting locomotive now, it's the SJ Class RM electric locomotives from Epoch 6. Now I say locomotives because there's two in this pack, and that's very prototypical because these locomotives usually ran in pairs in Sweden. What isn't clear to me is whether both of these are going to be powered or maybe one's just a dummy, but you can see from the close-up they have a lot of detail on them, and they have this very nice bright orange colour scheme. The difference between these two locomotives is just really the numbering on them, and together they'll come in around about £500. That's it for the locomotives. We're going to move on to coaches, and we have a triple pack here. It's the Deutsche Bahn D377 Hispania Express coach set from Epoch 4. 3 coaches in this pack. We have a second class compartment coach. The blue coach is first class, and we also have a baggage car as well. A neat little set, this one, but I'm pretty sure these have all come out before. There's probably just different liveries on these. But if this triple pack takes your fancy, then it is priced around £180. And now we're on to wagons, and it seems like the Czech Republic is getting a lot of attention from a few manufacturers at the moment. This is a CSD gondola wagon. It's a type EAS-U from Epoch 4 in this brown colour. You can't really go wrong with a gondola wagon, and this one is priced around £35. But where I think you can go wrong is this model. It's from the Netherlands. It's the NS Railway so-called Chaw fan wagon from Epoch 3 in this really unusual livery. I think it's meant to be representing some kind of patchwork on it, but I just don't think it really works that well. But anyway, if this appeals to you, then it's priced around £22. We've got a couple of modern image wagons being released as well. These are the Austrian OBB RCW Type T3000E double pocket wagons with loads. They've got semi-trailers on the back in a very bright colour scheme. They're from Epoch 6. And of course they only have 3 bogies because they're run in pairs, these wagons in real life. So this pack is around about £100. And almost identical, but I think with better trailers on because it's got the refrigerated one and Desegna Logistic livery trailers here. This one is the Wascosa livery on the wagons. It's still the Type T3000E double pocket wagons, and unsurprisingly these are also £100. So those are some interesting items from Roco. We're going to move on now to N scale, and we're looking at Fleischmann here. And we're going to start off with the DBAG BR204 diesel freight train set. This is a starter set with a digital controller, and you do get the BR204 diesel locomotive. It's a great looking model, that one. And it's matched here with 3 gondola wagons with different numbers on them. You get an oval of track, and you also get the Z21 digital controller, and it comes with a UK power pack as well if you buy it here in the UK. Altogether, this comes in around about £320, which I think is actually quite a good price because you are getting a digital set here. Also, DCC is the Deutsche Bahn BR70.0 steam locomotive. This is from Epoch 3. It's quite a quirky 240 locomotive. Now, I actually restored one of these in HO scale, and it was from Fleischmann. It is quite an interesting steam locomotive. I called it the Ugly Duckling because I'm not quite sure. It just looks a bit weird. This one in N scale is factory DCC fitted and is priced around about £290. We also have some coach packs from Fleischmann. This one is the Cisalpino, I think that's how you pronounce it, first and second class coach pack from Epoch 5. So you get 1 first class coach and 2 second class coaches with different numbers here. And this pack comes in around about £120. And we're back to the Czech Republic. This time it's the CD livery Eurofima coach pack, and you get an ABMZ and 2 BMZ coaches in this pack. The difference here being one of them has this interesting graphic on it. I guess it's set out for children or something like that. And this coach pack also comes in around about £120. Now we have some coaches here from the Deutsche Bahn. This one is the Type AM 203 First Class Express coach from Epoch 4 in the classic cream and blue colour. I think this is just a new livery being applied to a pre-existing model, but this one comes in around about £45. And to match with it, you also get the BM 235, which is a second class express coach, again from Epoch 4, and also around £45. And they're also producing this other alternative numbered one. It's the same BM235 and again £45. And finally, to match up with the rest of the coaches, you have the Type WR UGE second class skirted dining coach, again in the same livery but with a Spiesel wagon on the side. This one is actually a bit cheaper at around £38. And we're also being offered some wagons. This is the track cleaning wagon. It's actually a Deutsche Bahn sliding roof wagon with a bit of a modification at the bottom and some writing on the roof saying Fleischmann Clean, which I don't really like. I think they could have done away with that. Anyway, this is coming in at around £36 and would be a very easy way to clean your track. We're also being offered from the Deutsche Reichsbahn the Type RES swivel stake wagon with a container load from Epoch 4. This is obviously from an era before they made bespoke container wagons, and this model is coming in around about £48. And again, Czech Republic CD, this time it's the Type DDM car transporter wagon from Epoch 6. I think this actually looks a little bit plasticky, but if this appeals to you, it's coming in around £45. This is another twin pack. This time it's the Type UA CNS bogie silo wagons, and these ones have the Wholesome livery on the side of them. Again, it's another wagon that's been out before, but here this twin pack comes with different numbers and can be yours for around £85. Next, I'm going to chat about AK Interactive and their range of kits. I've always thought of them as being predominantly a paint producer aimed at the military modeller. However, they have been quietly expanding their range and now include some railway related items, which we're going to take a look at. First up is this. It's a tiny shunter in the form of the Deutsche Reichsbahn Breuer 4 shunting locomotive. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is in kit form that you can build up in a scale of 1 to 35. There's over 150 plastic pieces in this kit, and it allows you to make the model in a number of different variations. It also comes with the railway worker and a section of track. The Breuer 4 was the 4th production model of the light railway shunting locomotive developed by the German company H. Breuer & Co. from 1913. The variant offered here was designed in the 1920s, and around 120 vehicles are estimated to have been manufactured right through to 1943. They had a long service life, with some of them continuing on even until the 1980s. This is a static model, but certainly offers a lot of fun when making the model, and there's a lot of detail included in the mouldings that really enhance the finished model. This kit is coming in at around £28 here in the UK. Very similar is this, the Automotore. This shunter was made in Italy under license from Breuer & Co, and nearly 400 shunters were produced to serve on the Italian State Railway and some private company lines too, and continued on to the 1990s. They were also used in the Second World War in North Africa, and so this model can be built either as the World War II variant used in North Africa or a post-war model featuring several distinctive modifications. It's got an extra 30 parts over the last version, and this one comes with an Italian Army NCO figure as well. This kit is also coming in at around £28 here in the UK. We're also starting to be offered some wagons too, and this is one of them, the German Railways Schwerer Platform Wagon type SSYS. This would be ideal if you also do military modelling, as it was used to transport tanks and other heavy equipment. The model comes with over 250 plastic parts and a section of railway track, and features photo etch parts. This kit comes in around £35. And also we have the German Railway Covered Wagon Type G10. This is another DR vehicle, and this kit has over 280 plastic parts for the wagon and also comes with a section of railway track. It too has photo etch parts and comes with decals with 3 marking options. This wagon did have quite a controversial past, and it certainly played a significant role in the Second World War. However, the model is highly detailed and offers hours of fun. It's priced around £38. To go with these models, we're also being offered some track, just straight sections here, and of course these are plastic kits, so you won't be able to send power down the rails because they're plastic. This pack is priced at around £15. And there's also this buffer stop kit available too. This is also priced around £15. So it's an interesting and growing range of plastic construction kits from AK Interactive, which is nice to see. I wonder what's coming next from them. Talking of plastic construction kits, there's been an interesting release from German manufacturer Das Werk. They make some really high-end military models, but in a surprise release they've given us this, the so-called Type CID-27 coach, nicknamed the Thunderbox due to their lack of soundproofing in real life. Again, this is a 1/35th scale kit that comes with details to make either a Deutsche Reichsbahn or a Deutsche Bundesbahn version. It's an incredibly detailed kit that comes with metal parts and full interior and builds up to quite an incredible rendition of this coach. It also comes with a length of plastic track to display it on. It does come at a price though, and here in the UK it's around £68, but I think for the amount of parts you get here and the enjoyment you'll have from making this model, it's probably worth it. Okay, we're now going to have a look at PJM models who are back in the news with a new model as well. And it's this, the new Dapol kit in 00 scale. It's based on the Dapol building in Peterborough, and this laser cut kit is available in 2 forms. This is version A that contains laser cut parts for the sides, roof and ends to build up a single 335mm by 224mm structure, and comes with 3D printed roller shutter doors and a pair of extractor units, one for each end. There are wood kits that feature a full internal skeleton and card overlays for the exterior. This is priced at $65.99 RRP. And you can extend this model with version B, which is basically the same but without the doors or extractors. And you can extend indefinitely with this kit. It's priced at an RRP of $55.99. Well, it's obviously coming up to Christmas, and Peco have released a couple of Christmas wagons. Now previously we had this Linton and Barnstable box van which has been decorated as Santa's workshop. It's quite an interesting model, it's got some fun things on it, and it is in 009 scale. This had been already released, I think it was actually last year, and it has an RRP of £27.95. But Peco have extended the range this year and have provided us with this, the van fit, this time in the Christmas jumper department livery, which is quite an interesting and fun livery with the green roof there. This is limited edition to only 500 units, and it comes in a rather nice looking display box as well. If you fancy this for the Christmas period, it has an RRP of £19.95. And very similar to the first wagon we had a look at from earlier, this one is a Linton and Barnstable box van again, this time just with the Christmas jumper department livery on it. Again limited to 500 units, and again in a nice little presentation box. This one has an RRP of £29.95. And still in the festive spirit, Modelu have some Christmas figures on offer as well. All these figures come in 3 different sizes, so you can buy them in O scale, 00 scale or N scale. The first one is the classic Father Christmas, and prices range from £4.95 to £7.95. Alternatively, you can have a more traditional Victorian dressed Father Christmas, and it's the same prices. And you can also get a kind of modern Santa in his Christmas sleigh with a couple of reindeers there. Now this is a bit more expensive at £11.95 for 00 and N scale, or £19.95 for the O scale version. We're also getting a set of 5 carol singers here, and these are priced at £19.95 for 00 and N scale, or £32.95 for O scale. We also have this set of 3 little snowmen. These are priced at £7.95 for the 3 for 00 scale and N scale, or £12.95 for O scale. And also some fun accessories here with the Christmas presents. These are quite cheap in O scale and N scale at $4.95 or $7.95 in O scale. Okay, we have some news from Dapol now, and they're continuing their march on the decorated little vans with some new liveries, starting off with this, the Del Monte livery on the Fruit Mix van. These are all things that have been out before, and they just continue to churn out more and more liveries on these with different branding. This one in 00 scale, if it appeals to you, it's got an RRP of $12.45 in pristine condition, or you can actually get this factory weathered for $13.65. And another Dapol van is the ventilated van, which they've done hundreds of already. This time you can get this bird's eye livery, and it's priced at £13 for the pristine model or £14.20 for the weathered one. Moving to O scale now, and they have done the similar kind of thing, just branding up some wagons. This time it's the 12-ton Great Western Fruit van with the Jaffa logo on it. This one is priced at $55.51 in pristine condition, and if you fancy it weathered it's $57.51. And unsurprisingly, they've also done a Del Monte version of the Great Western Fruit van, and this is priced exactly the same at $55.51 for pristine or $57.51 for the weathered. And Dapol have also just shown us some diagrams of their upcoming livery options for their J72060 tank engine. These illustrations give us some indication of the livery and number options which are going to be offered on this locomotive, which itself is quite an interesting model. Many of its components are die-cast to ensure the locomotive weighs as much as possible. Interestingly, for such a small model, the centre drive wheels will be sprung so that it remains in contact with the rails. Plus it has a coreless motor with flywheel, so performance should be pretty good. There'll be some differences in the model dependent on which era you opt for, and as you can see from these drawings, there'll be one to fit whichever era you're modelling. The RRP of these has already been set for DCC ready versions at £140, and they are expected to be in stock in Q4 2025, so a little while to wait, but you can already pre-order if you like. I'll give you more updates on this model as soon as I get them. And that's it for this edition. Another busy week in the model railway world. Loads of stuff there, and I'm sure more to come. Subscribe to keep up to date, and I'll see you on the next one.